After finding out what exactly is going on, I was staggered. Honestly, I'm still shocked. The corruption in Wall Street, frankly, it's just beyond a joke. Something has to be done. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to all the new subscribers and welcome back everyone else. My name is Sam Evans and I'm coming to you here from Melbourne, Australia. Right now, these are the facts. Many investment funds, many Wall Street brokerages, many companies say that Tesla is worse than oil companies when it comes to their environmental impact on planet Earth. That is simply disgraceful and outright lying. There's nothing else that can be said for that. Unfortunately, the media plays a big part in this as well. The media doesn't care. Couldn't care less. Generally, the media likes to attack Tesla because if it bleeds and it's about Tesla, it sells, it clicks, it makes them money. Now, I personally believe that in many cases, the media is as corrupt as oil companies and as corrupt as Wall Street. But please, let's come together and do something about this because, my friends, this is a joke. Tasmanian has reported that Tesla is urging large funds to stop misleading investors and change their ESG valuation of companies. This and only this will prevent a situation where investors who seek to invest, if the truth was to happen, if the truth was to be exposed, what would this mean? This would mean a prevention of a situation where investors who seek to invest only in environmentally friendly companies would actually invest in companies that pollute the environment. That's what's happening right now. People are investing in funds they believe are green funds when actually there's oil companies as a part of those funds and Tesla is not part of them. Because these oil companies are considered green, Tesla is not. I mean, that is insane. Right now, Tesla is urging large funds to stop misleading investors and change their ESG valuation of companies. This will prevent a situation where investors who seek to invest only in environmentally friendly companies will actually invest in companies that pollute the environment. Tesla published the 2021 Impact Report, which raised the issue of ESG, environmental, social, and governance, and they explained that the current ESG reports do not measure the magnitude of the positive impact on the world that many companies make, which is a huge mistake. Instead, it focuses on measuring the dollar value of risk versus return. Not really the point of an ESG, is it? The problem is that individual investors who trust their money to these so-called ESG funds, which are not really ethical at all, are probably in, I would say at least 80% of cases, unaware that this money is being used to buy shares in companies that worsen the environment, basically make us have a worse planet overall. Tesla cites measuring the impact of the automotive industry. While the average investor might think that the more electric vehicles an automaker sells as a percentage of total volumes, the better its ESG score, but the reality is actually very, very different. As long as the company continues to slightly reduce emissions from its manufacturing operations while also releasing internal combustion engine vehicles, its ESG ratings are likely to rise. In other words, right now, companies that are some of the biggest polluters in the world have good ESG ratings simply because they're marginally improving their pollution every year. But I mean, if you're one of the biggest polluters, you can marginally decrease your pollution every year for 50 years and still be one of the world's biggest polluters. The issue with this is that vehicle use phase emissions, which represent 80 to 90% of total automotive emissions, included in Scope 3 of ESG reporting, tend to be misreported due to the use of completely unrealistic assumptions that are not reported at all. Thus, it turns out that some oil and gas companies rank higher than Tesla on environmental impact, which, as we all know, is completely untrue, and dishonest. Tesla cited Bloomberg Business Week about the ESG mirage to back up its conclusion. The most striking feature of the ESG rating system is how rarely a company's record on climate change seems to get in the way of its climb up the ESG ladder, or even to factor at all. Based on the facts, Tesla suggested what it thought would help remedy this situation. Tesla is sure that it is necessary to create a system that measures and scrutinizes the actual positive impact on our planet, so unsuspecting individual investors can choose to support companies that can make and prioritize positive change. On the product front, companies should be required to use real-world figures whenever remotely feasible and clearly state when estimates are provided, but not actual numbers, proposed Tesla. For example, emissions from vehicles during use, which account for the vast majority of life cycle emissions, are reported according to estimates by car manufacturers, but in fact, they never reflect real data. Automakers themselves often have access to this data, but mislead by specifically not disclosing it. In the European Union, for example, there is a loophole right now for automakers to make plug-in hybrid vehicles and then claim that these vehicles are green. They use special loopholes in order to make claims that are clearly completely false. And the EU is writing new laws to try and close these loopholes. But that's not going to happen for at least a couple of years. So manufacturers continue to exploit these loopholes. I actually made a video about this loophole they're exploiting. I'll put a link in the description below to that video. While many ESG ratings evaluate, does this ESG issue impact the profitability of the company? Tesla points out that we need a system that evaluates, does the growth of the company have a positive impact on the world? This evolution of ESG must be supported by institutional investors, ratings agencies, public companies, and the general public. And then and only then will people who are investing in funds that they think are clean actually be doing what they think they're doing. Now, in my view, this is a huge scam simply set up for profit making. It's really just all part of the Wall Street honey bucket where money has to keep coming in. And basically companies are willing to tell investors anything in order to make that continue to happen. So if you're investing and you're looking at investing in clean energy companies or companies that are making the world better, not worse, then consider the funds you're investing in. Consider or not whether they are actually clean or whether they're just pretending. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching the channel. Have a great one, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.